Okay, perfect. What do you think is the most exciting mystery in the universe that scientists still haven't solved?
Well, I think for me, you're recording? Yeah. For me, I think one of the most important and intriguing mysteries might be what shape is the universe? What is the universe like? Because we can only see a small part of the universe. Basically, where we are situated with a lot of galaxies around,
Oh,
but we can't see the entire universe. If we could step outside our universe and see it from the outside, I think we could solve so many questions that keep us scientists awake at night.
oh, interesting.
Well, like whether there are parallel universes. If there are other universes besides ours, what we call parallel universes, or whether there is nothing outside the universe. If we could see the universe from the outside, we could answer many questions like, what is dark energy?
Oh, great, thank you. If you could travel anywhere in the universe instantly, where would you go and why?
That's a difficult question, eh? Well, I think the best place to be right now in the whole universe that we know is Earth, because as far as we know, it's the only planet we can live on, breathe and feed ourselves. If we went to another planet or satellite in the solar system without leaving it, we couldn't live there or feel comfortable anywhere. So the most appealing place might be Earth. That would be very nice. Now, we've discovered more than 6,000 planets orbiting stars other than the Sun, what we call exoplanets, or extrasolar planets. These are planets orbiting stars outside the solar system, and around 50-70 of them might have characteristics that could make them habitable, and maybe life exists there. Or maybe, in the very distant future, we could travel to them and live there as comfortably as on Earth. But we don't know. These planets are so far away that we don't know what's there, or if we could ever go there safely.
What do you think is more likely, discovering extraterrestrial life or humans living on another planet?
It's definitely easier and more likely that we'll discover extraterrestrial life first. Not intelligent life like us, but something small, like microorganisms or bacteria. We already have rovers on Mars taking samples. A future mission will bring those samples back to Earth, and who knows, we might get some groundbreaking news. And it's not just Mars. There are other promising places in our own solar system. For example, Europa, a moon of Jupiter which has a thick layer of ice that might hide a liquid ocean beneath. Enceladus, a moon of Saturn with a very similar structure. And Titan, another of Saturn's moons where conditions today might look a lot like Earth in its earliest days with chemistry that could spark life. So, within our solar system, there are at least 4 real candidates. Meanwhile, habitable planets outside our solar system are just too far away, maybe hundreds of years before we could even think about going there.
Okay, one question. Why is it important for young people to learn about space, in your opinion?
For several reasons, among them, one reason is to see the risks that could come from space, like asteroids or comets. We're used to seeing in movies an asteroid or comet hitting Earth and destroying a region or even the whole planet. We discussed this earlier in the chat, but it's a risk we should be prepared for. Maybe not now, but in the near future. Hopefully we never face it, but it's possible. Also, the sun sometimes emits solar flares. If they are very powerful, they could damage satellites or communication systems, even leave us in darkness, causing a global blackout due to a massive solar flare. This is a risk everyone should know about. It would have to be an immense solar flare to cause a blackout or global issue. Not very likely, but possible.
Yep.
Also, to satisfy curiosity about what's out there. What's in space? Are we alone? Where do we come from? Where are we going? These basic questions, maybe the cosmos has the answers.
Perfect. Personally, I want to encourage girls to study space and science. When did you first realize you wanted to study astrophysics?
When I was very young, I loved astronomy. I loved space. When I was little, I was given a small telescope. I loved taking it outside to observe the sky, to look for things. Maybe nothing could really be seen with that telescope, but it thrilled me. One turning point was when I watched the movie Contact.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Yes, I saw Contact, and Jodie Foster plays an astronomer in a world that has always been and still is more male-dominated than female. Jodie Foster's character is a female scientist in astronomy, asserting her opinions and perspective in a male world. When I saw that movie, I thought, I want to be like her. It's a shame we often have to look up to fictional female scientists in movies instead of real ones. We need more female scientific role models so girls are encouraged to study science.
Yes. What is a normal day like for you as an astrophysicist?
Well, a normal day. We have day and night shifts. During the day, we observe the sun with telescopes, and at night, the night sky. There are many branches of astrophysics. Some astrophysicists don't observe the sky at all, working more in offices, analyzing data. Many people now do simulations and data analysis with computers. That's also astronomy. My focus is more on operating telescopes and instruments to collect data directly. Also, you need to like the nightlife a bit, because much of our work is at night with telescopes, often going without sleep.
Wow, okay. What was the biggest challenge in your career and how did you overcome it?
Perhaps one of the biggest challenges was choosing my career. People made me think I wasn't cut out for physics or astrophysics, that it was too hard and I wouldn't succeed. That was one of the most important challenges for me, deciding to take the step and say, okay, I'll try. I'll see if I can do it. I'll find out for myself. I took the step. I tried, I finished my degree, and now I work in something I'm passionate about.
That's great advice.
So I think the lesson is to take a step in life, even if it scares you. If you don't try, you'll never know.
Great, cool. Okay, just a few more. What are some of the easiest objects in the night sky for beginners to look for first?
The moon. In the night sky, the moon. When someone gets a telescope and starts astronomy, I always recommend starting with the moon. Then, after the moon, planets like Jupiter and Saturn. With a simple telescope or even binoculars, you can see the craters of meteor impacts on the moon perfectly. For Jupiter, its 4 Galilean moons discovered by Galileo are very visible with a simple telescope, which looks like a miniature solar system. So I'd recommend starting with the moon and the planets.
I saw a photo you took of Saturn 3 years ago. It's incredible. Wow.
Yes, that was just with the observatory telescope, but using my phone, holding it right up to the eyepiece.
Wow, incredible.
No camera equipment at all, just the mobile phone against the telescope lens. Incredible, right?
And the rings? Wow.
To really see Saturn's rings, though, you do need a telescope. Maybe not a huge one, but not the tiniest either. For example, the telescope I had as a child was really, really small. With it, you could see Saturn, but you couldn't make out the rings clearly. Instead of looking like a little round ball, it looked kind of squashed like a flattened circle. But with a slightly better telescope, yes, you can actually distinguish the rings.
Which telescope do you have? Reflector or refractor? Or, I don't know how to say it in Spanish.
There are different types of telescopes, reflectors and refractors. The difference is that refractors use lenses, while reflectors use mirrors. Telescopes with lenses work very well, but once you get to a certain size, it becomes almost impossible to build huge lenses. That's when we move on to mirrors. The largest telescopes in the world all use mirrors or even mosaics of mirrors. For example, right now in Chile, they're building a telescope with a diameter of 40 meters.
Oh, wow, cool.
Of course, it's not a single mirror that size. That would be almost impossible to build and support. Instead, they're constructing it from many smaller mirrors, all fitted together to act like one enormous mirror. A single 40-meter lens would be completely unfeasible.
So which do you have? A refractor or a reflector?
I have both.
Cool. Okay, last question. What are some of the most important constellations to learn if you live in the Northern Hemisphere?
Well, the one everybody knows is Ursa Major, which people here often call El Caro, but Big Dipper. But the Big Dipper isn't the whole constellation, it's just part of it. The full constellation of Ursa Major is much larger. Another constellation I always recommend people learn is Cassiopeia. It's shaped like a W and sits quite close to Ursa Major, toward the north-northeast in summer. People often connect it with the Perseids, the famous August meteor showers. The meteors don't actually come from Cassiopeia, but from Perseus, which is right next to it. Still, Cassiopeia is easy to spot and worth remembering. And in winter, we have the spectacular Orion.
Yes, my favorite.
Exactly. It's incredible. Orion has the 3 perfectly aligned stars that form the famous belt. The whole constellation is stunning, and you can even see the Orion Nebula with the naked eye. I'd also add Scorpio, which is a great summer constellation. According to Greek mythology, Orion was killed by a scorpion's sting. That's why in the night sky you never see them together. When Orion rises, Scorpio sets, and when Scorpio rises, Orion sets. Scorpio is very striking and distinctive in summer.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the interview.
It was my pleasure.